Now, if you're after a reasonably priced holiday in America and you want to do something a little bit different than the usual destinations of Miami, Los Angeles and New York, can I suggest you come here to Tucson, Arizona, in the heart of the Sonoran Desert.
Tucson's an unusual and fantastic place to visit, whatever the price. But with the dollar low against the pound and seasonal variations to take advantage of, a holiday here can prove very reasonable as well as incredible. It takes about 10 hours to fly from London to Phoenix, and then you can drive about 100 miles, take a shuttle bus or an internal flight to Tucson. Tucson's both bohemian and western, so close to Mexico it's almost a border town. It's a modern American city with a groovy downtown scene where hipster, cowboy and Latino cultures mix to marvellous effect. It's also known with some justification as the Mexican food capital of the world. My first activity is a literal interpretation of bang for your buck.
You know, one of the reasons I love Tucson is that you do still feel that you're in the Wild West when you come here. And the West wouldn't be wild without its guns.
Though you'll find people in here who'd say the West was tamed by its guns. Normally I'd disagree with these people, but I don't today, because they're heavily armed. As sports go, though, it's pretty cheap, a lot cheaper than a round of golf, which is another popular activity in Tucson. Though you will need an American citizen to hire your gun for you.
Do I call it a gun, a weapon, or just simply a piece?
Gun is fine.
Gun, okay.
That's acceptable.
Right. Can I take the 686? That looks a little more intimidating.
That gun feels rather good, and that makes me feel rather bad.
So I'll need some rounds, and then you've got some, rabbits in there to shoot at? Or
no, actually I have some paper targets right behind you there.
Okay.
Number 5.
Number 5, the bad guy. Okay. Are these on properly?
Yes, sir, they are.
Sorry?
You're
Somebody stop me. You can't shoot me if the
me.
jokes get too bad. Well, I have to admit to being slightly excited in a sort of pretty straightforward male sort of way, because it's a gun, like a car, and at the same time, sort of quite frightened as well, because it's there's just loads of blokes firing massive weapons.
It's all very well run, even civilised, but what if it all goes off in here and it becomes a Wild West free-for-all?
Load up 6 rounds.
6 rounds. Ready?
Good shot.
Was
Beautiful.
consistent.
Right,
That's right between the eyes.
Let's see how your shots went. Considering you were aiming here, and if you've had no practice before, that's a good shot. That's
Thanks
a good
very
group.
much.
I wasn't aiming anywhere near there, but Scott was packing heat, so I agreed with whatever he said. This kind of shooting is exciting, but disturbing.
Have we done something wrong? I feel guilty for doing that, and I feel guilty for enjoying it. But I don't, at the same time, really feel like I've done anything wrong. But then again, maybe I have.
I'm obviously in need of psychological help here, and as I'm in America, I decide to do that with some retail therapy and gentle role play.
Tucson's about the only place in the world that I think you can get away with wearing a cowboy hat without looking like that thing that rhymes with hat.
Have I just set myself up here? This warehouse of Western equipment has everything that a cowboy or cowgirl needs to look the part. There's a phrase they use in the West, all hat and no cattle. What does it mean?
Do we know what size you are?
I think 58.
Okay.
Fat head is what people call me, so I'm guessing that's a 58.
All right, well, let's go back here where the fat hat people are.
All right, thanks.
Jeff helps me out by demonstrating 2 core values of the cowboy code, gentleness and patience with idiots.
There's something I like about this hat in a way. It feels like I get some serious UV protection.
That's correct.
There are so many hats here, it's almost impossible to make a decision. I'm probably going to need to be here overnight, actually, I think, Jeff, if that's okay. I'll just wander around the store, trying on different outfits.
Okay, and we'll check you on the morning when we open up the door.
Yeah. And if I'm foaming at the mouth, shoot me.
For a mere £12.50, I am fully hatted, ready to integrate myself seamlessly into the community. A lone cowboy in need of a Western backdrop. And this will do nicely, the Tanque Verde Dude Ranch, just 10 miles outside of Tucson. A place where anyone can be a cowboy, cowgirl, dude or dudette for a reasonable £120 a night. Reasonable because that includes all of your meals and activities, from horse riding or hiking in the Sonoran Desert with a kindly guide like Virginia.
Do I look stupid in this hat?
No, I like it actually.
Really?
It looks very good. It does.
Venice has its canals, Paris its snottiness, and Tucson's defining feature is the Sonoran Desert, one of the world's most beautiful and extraordinary wildernesses. The desert both infiltrates and surrounds the town.
Can you see just how great it is here? That it's like we've gone from the ranch there, which was sort of quite developed and built up and stuff, and rapidly you've just come out here into the desert where there's nothing but desert.
Looking around, you can see why the Sonoran Desert has inspired painters, poets, photographers and filmmakers, all largely due to the most famous movie star in these parts, the saguaro cactus. It's a genuine icon of the American Southwest.
Well, we have some really lovely saguaros here. They're unusually large and many arms. You know, they grow very slowly. These are at least 200, I would say.
And thanks to their arms, saguaros are a strangely human-looking plant.
One of the things that's brilliant about being in Tucson is you do get moments where you feel like you're in a real Western. And it was great when we saw the riders over there coming down from the mountains. It was a bit like the sheriff was coming down to get us with his posse. In fact, it's just some other tourists exploring the desert. But just for a second there, I felt like John Wayne.
Hi there.
Howdy. So my cheapskate Wild West adventure continues as I head backwards in time to two towns. One called Bisbee, the other a little place they call Tombstone.
Tombstone, aka the town that's too tough to die, is a spectacular 70-mile drive south through the desert. It's got a bit of a reputation thanks to a little fight with guns they had at a place called the OK Corral. It's a fight that continues today, every day in fact, at the same time.
We try and provide for the tourist a complete experience.
Ben gets shot for a living.
You got to get the walk. We're moseying.
Who's this? This is a mosey we're doing here.
Exactly.
Everyone's here either to shop or to re-experience the mythic fight at the OK Corral, where 30 shots were fired in 30 seconds. But who was counting? The big fight took place between two feuding families, the Earps and the Clantons, in 1881, and it's been a source of income for Tombstone ever since the silver mines ran out.
I want you to check every saloon along Allen Street. You find him and get him out here. He's leaving town too.
You got it, Virgil.
I've got a nasty feeling it's all going off there at the top of the street. I think there's going to be trouble.
The action on the street is free. It's an appetizer to the actual gunfight, which costs $5 to see. It might be touristy, but watching the cowboys herd the punters into the OK Corral, I can't help but feel that this is still a cow town.
It's quite exciting to come to somewhere that you've heard of and see something that really looks like a Western town. I don't know how much of it is authentic, but it's quite good fun, if slightly cheesy.
With a knockout southwestern sunset behind me, I dash to the town of Bisbee and my bed for the night at the Shady Dell, which offers unique retro-chic accommodation from only £20 a night. I can't wait to bed down in some good old-fashioned splendour.
But it's a little girl's caravan. This is simultaneously one of the best and worst places I'm ever going to have to stay in my life. I think this is great and terrible. I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Well, there's only one way to describe a night in that little homestead there, and that's cosy. I'm going to get some coffee.
The delightful Shady Dell Trailer Park is in the outskirts of Bisbee, which is a very pretty, very friendly and rather cool ex-mining town, home to good restaurants and old hippies. These trailers were built after the Second World War by aircraft manufacturers, and I think it shows. I love it here. Right, well, let's sum up. Let's see. Winter sunshine. Check. Beautiful natural surroundings. Check. Lovely Wild West visuals. Check. And finally, reasonably priced. Check. Why wouldn't you come to Arizona for a holiday?